This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
A big showdown between the ruling party and the opposition on the cards. 2G stings and now Morley retorts with this statement.
It just looks like that, just like urchins, you throw stones and run away. This can't be done in a parliamentary practice.
Amma keeps her stream of salvos coming. She now calls the Chief Minister hypocrite for his changing stance on the JPC floor. Kirtivasan's kidnappers detained under the Gundas Act, both of them to be charge-sheeted soon. CAT leads a trial for all entrance exams to follow suit. AIEEE from 2011 will have the computerized and the paper format. Down it and go kill someone looks like that's the mantra of the criminals today. And marking the 90th birth anniversary of yesteryear Kadal Mannan, a book and a DVD of Gemini Ganeshan's biography is released.
பாடம் சொல்லவா பறந்து செல்லவா பால் நிலாவை போல வந்த பாவை அல்லவா நானும் பாதை தேடி ஓடி வந்த காளை அல்லவா.
A very good evening. You're watching the late night news with me, Divya. Let's also take a look at the national news making headlines. Yediyurappa says he won't quit. Sources say BJP firm on replacing him. Is Law Minister Suresh Kumar the front runner? Congress Core Committee meets to discuss how to resolve the logjam in the Parliament. Pranab is likely to meet Sushma Swaraj tomorrow. Congress asks for a report on a program aired on Sakshi TV that criticizes Sonia Gandhi and the Prime Minister. A bomb detected yesterday but left by the roadside kills 8 people including 7 children. Prija Sridharan wins gold in the 10,000 meters and Rajan Sondi in the double strap. Gold takes India to 6. And 4 centuries from the top 4 take India to a lead of 98 with 8 wickets in hand on day 2. Well, the ongoing tussle between the Treasury benches and the opposition on ordering a joint parliamentary committee is expected to take a new turn on Monday in the Parliament, with relentless opposition gearing up for yet another showdown in the Parliament. The ruling Congress seems to be furious and has described the opposition as, in quotes, urchins. Shabir Ahmed has this report.
We have debated, redebated. We have discussed, rediscussed. We have raised questions after question. Now we want action and not debate.
If he is sure of saying there was nothing, then let them agree for a joint parliamentary committee probe. Why do they shy away from joint JPC probe? Why do they run away?
We are prepared for a discussion, full-scale discussion in the Parliament. And why don't we discuss? It just looks like that, just like urchins, you throw stones and run away,
That seems to be the response from the Congress party, as the opposition parties pile up pressure on the government in the 2G spectrum scam. The ruling Congress is all set to take on the opposition on the floor of the House and defend Prime Minister Manmohan Singh tooth and nail.
We have a Prime Minister, which we are very proud, the great personality, a great scholar and an eminent statesman who has an impeccable character and integrity. Nobody can question.
As the standoff continues in Delhi, in Tamil Nadu, the state's main opposition leader Jayalalitha lashed out at Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi for what she called his double standards on the Joint Parliamentary Committee probe. In her latest statement, mounting pressure on the DMK, Jayalalitha says if the DMK was truly up for a JPC probe, they should put it in writing to the centre instead of flip-flopping on the issue. The battle over the spectrum waves is only likely to get bitter in Tamil Nadu. For Jayalalitha's opposition AIADMK, the scandal has come at the most appropriate time, and it is expected to keep up the momentum till state elections early next year. In Chennai, Shabir Ahmed for NDTV Hindu.
And on some national news now, well, the ghost of corruption that is haunting Karnataka Chief Minister Yediyurappa may finally cost him his job. The BJP core group is meeting, including party president Nitin Gadkari and senior leader L.K. Advani, to take a final decision on Yediyurappa, who is facing corruption charges relating to illegal land grab. Sources say the top leaders are worried about Yediyurappa's refusal to step down and are trying to convince him. The top leaders are already working on his replacement. According to sources, Yediyurappa is leaving to Delhi tomorrow morning, but he is adamant that he will not resign, saying he has done nothing wrong.
Today evening, I will go to Delhi to meet our parliament members to give all the details about the Karnataka affairs. 120 MPs or MLAs are with me, not 10 or 20 or 40, 50. Nobody is going to Delhi, just myself. I will go and meet our Rajya Sabha and MPs.
Well, if that's the scene in Karnataka, in neighbouring Andhra Pradesh, a different drama is playing out. Jagan Mohan Reddy and the Congress seem set for yet another showdown. This again after a program was aired on Jagan-owned Sakshi TV in which some negative remarks were included on Sonia Gandhi's leadership. The congressmen in Andhra Pradesh have slammed Sakshi TV for airing such a program, and the Congress High Command has also sought a report from its Andhra unit on the television program. Meanwhile, the Congress workers protested against the telecast in various places.
The way the story has been built up and broadcasted, I have got strong objection. I said it very clearly. There is no ambiguity about it.
No, your basic objection is against how Sonia Gandhi ji has been portrayed in that particular news item, or how Congress has been, do you think Congress party has been also malign?
I mean, from all aspects, I condemn the broadcasting.
And meanwhile, the Congress top brass met in Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's residence today to break the deadlock in the Parliament. Sources have told us that the core group discussed the government's flow strategy in the Parliament and the opposition's demand for a JPC into the 2G spectrum scam. The Parliament has not functioned for a single day this winter session. The opposition says it will not allow any work to begin till the government sanctions a JPC. Well, back in the city, police say a large number of crimes, some of them fatal, are committed under the influence of alcoholic drinks. In comparison to the police data that shows that pre-planned crimes such as kidnapping for ransom and house break-ins, that is crime planned in advance, have shown no trace of alcohol at all. Salim brings us the special report.
The murder of 25-year-old Jayasudha, the death of a mother and daughter in a hit-and-run incident, and the murder of a transgender. These incidents in Chennai recently had one thing in common: the killers were drunk.
So there are two types of crime. One is under the influence of liquor, he may lose his balance and fight with somebody, and the fight may develop into a murder. That is possible. But suppose if a criminal wants to kidnap a child, he will never do it. He will never get drunk.
Medical experts back the police theory. They say people who are drunk suffer an outburst of anger and turn violent, the behavior resulting in a crime.
During that initial phase, what we call as a excitatory phase, the individual may be of any way, he will be in excitated state, whatever has been already experienced. He may feel fully joy, as well as if people already irritated him, he has got anger with it, may even get aggravated. So at that time he can do anything.
Police say they are doing whatever possible to reduce or prevent crimes aided by the effect of alcohol.
So preventive measures are being taken, though it is not foolproof to organize because it's not possible to keep policemen all the places all the time. But we are making an attempt at least to minimize the offense.
The police say the best way to stop crime is to prevent it. If I am given an option between the two, obviously I'll go for this. In Chennai, Salim for NDTV Hindu.
Well, the AIEEE is now chasing the cat route, but are students ready to take the online plunge? We'll bring you that in just a moment.